Today we're comparing the new Galaxy Tab S10 Lite versus the older Galaxy Tab S9. I know sometimes it can be tough to choose between an older flagship device versus a newer mid-range, but today we're going to find out which of these is the best option. So let's go ahead and get started. The price on these are actually quite a bit closer now, starting at $350 for the S10 Lite versus about $450 for the Galaxy Tab S9. Both of these start with 128 gigabytes of storage. One advantage for the Galaxy Tab S9 is it starts with 8 gigabytes of RAM versus only 6 for the S10 Lite. Both of these also take a micro SD card to expand the storage as well. I think the build quality is actually pretty good on the S10 Lite, although the Tab S9 is just a little bit better. It's also lighter at 498 grams versus 524 for the S10 Lite. The Tab S9 is also IP68, dust and water resistant, where you don't get that on the S10 Lite. They're pretty much the same size screens at 10.9 inches for the S10 Lite, 11 inches for the Galaxy Tab S9. One big difference though is the Tab S9 is a dynamic AMOLED 2X display versus a TFT LCD display on the S10 Lite, up to 90 Hz refresh rate for the S10 Lite versus 120 Hz on the Galaxy Tab S9. I think the screen on the S10 Lite is probably good enough for most people, but when you put it next to the Galaxy Tab S9, the S9 is brighter, has better viewing angles, the colors are more vibrant, and is just gonna look better in pretty much every situation. I think the screen on the Tab S9 is still one of the better displays out there, even when compared to some of the newer flagship tablets. You also have a higher resolution on the Galaxy Tab S9 at 2560 by 1600 versus 2120 by 1320 on the S10 Lite. You also get a fingerprint scanner on the Galaxy Tab S9 where you don't get one on the S10 Lite. You also have a little bit bigger battery in the Tab S9 and faster charging at 45 watts versus 25 watts for the S10 Lite. I know when I ran my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness for both of these, somehow the S9 lasted about 2 hours longer than the S10 Lite. So if you want the tablet with better battery life and faster charging, I would go with the Galaxy Tab S9. As far as software goes, these are going to be very similar, just small differences here and there. You will get some more AI features on the Tab S9, but overall they're very similar and it's gonna feel pretty much the same regardless of which one you go with. You can actually use the same S Pen on both of these, even though you have to charge the S Pen with the Tab S9. Technically you could switch the S Pens on these and it would work fine. The only problem would be you have to charge the S Pen on the Tab S9, but where you don't have to on the S10 Lite. The Tab S9 still has Bluetooth, so you can still get some of those Bluetooth features that you don't have on the S10 Lite for air actions, but both of these are really good for drawing, taking notes, or just moving around the software. One advantage you get with the newer Tab S10 Lite is you get 7 years of software updates versus only 4 years major software updates and 5 years security updates on the Tab S9. That's probably one area where I could see some people choosing the S10 Lite over the Tab S9, so that's definitely something to consider. Another advantage for the Tab S9 is you've got video out, so you could connect it to a projector, TV, or external monitor just using an HDMI adapter, where you don't have that option on the S10 Lite, but you do have the wireless option on both of these. You've also got Samsung DeX on both of these if you want to be a little more productive. You've also got floating windows, multitasking, and the taskbar down at the bottom on both tablets. So you can't really go wrong with either one when it comes to the software. It may just come down to the amount of software updates you're going to get on the newer Tab S10 Lite compared to the older Tab S9. One big advantage for the Galaxy Tab S9 is going to be the performance. It's got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor versus the Exynos 1380 and the S10 Lite. The Tab S9 is quite a bit better in single and multi-core scores and GPU performance as well, as you can see here by the benchmark scores. And I think this is going to be one of the bigger advantages of going with the Tab S9 over the S10 Lite, especially as the tablets get older. So if you plan on doing a lot of multitasking, video editing, anything that's more intense, you'll definitely want to go with the Galaxy Tab S9. I think the Tab S10 Lite is decent to do some light gaming on as well. It's just not going to be quite as good as the Galaxy Tab S9. I think both of these are pretty comfortable when gaming. It's easy to reach things on the screen, but obviously if you want the tablet with better performance overall, you'll definitely want to go with the Galaxy Tab S9. Now when it comes to speakers, you've got two speakers on the S10 Lite versus a quad speaker setup on the Tab S9. Personally, I don't think these two are really that close when it comes to which has the better speakers. The Tab S9 sounds quite a bit better and louder than the S10 Lite, but here's a quick sample of each just to give you an idea of how they sound. Now when it comes to cameras, you've got higher resolution cameras on the Tab S9 at 13 megapixels on the back, 12 megapixels on the front, then 8 megapixels on the back of the S10 Lite with a 5 megapixel front facing camera. Another advantage for the Tab S9 is you can shoot up to 4K resolution for video recording versus 1080p on the S10 Lite. I know not everyone uses the cameras on their tablets, but I still like to put this comparison in here just to give you an idea how they compare. I feel like most people would really only choose the Tab S10 Lite if you want something more affordable that has the S Pen included, and the 7 years of software updates is one of the most important things to you, because otherwise the Tab S9 is going to be better than the S10 Lite in almost every single category. If I had to choose between these two, even though it won't get as many software updates, I think I would still go with the Galaxy Tab S9. If you like tablets, phones, and other tech, I've got a lot more stuff that I'm working on. As usual, I try to get 3 videos out each week, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.